I mean, if you want free education for the people on the penal colony, then we should have free education for all Canadians. It's done over in Europe. Countries have done it, and it's quite equal. But I want equal. I have a Charter of Rights that says I'm to be treated equal as all other Canadians. I'm not being treated equal. I have to pay for a university. The Indigenous population does not. That is inequality. I would love to get a $20,000 check when I turned 18. I could have partied for a couple of years, maybe bought a house. And when I turned 65, I would have loved a check for $25,000. Boy, I could have gone to Australia. I could have toured around and enjoyed retirement. And that's an inequality that is not justified and not warranted in Canada. So the Indian Act does benefit the Indigenous people in certain parts, and it inhibits and prohibits their inclusion into Canada in other ways. And you have to give a little, take a little to adjust the balance so it works for Canada and rewards Indigenous people to contribute to the growth of Canada.
Edmonton had a similar court case 20 so years ago. The Papachays were a group of people that considered themselves Indigenous with a claim to most of South Edmonton, south of the river in Edmonton. Yeah. And their claim originates back to the Hudson's Bay Company trading post in Edmonton. The group proceeded to a court application, and along the way, the various heads popped up, infighting, disputing who was or who was not a member of this organization.
I lost
there you
it.
go. Yeah, now I'm back. Oh. So what happened? What happened there was it was a fight over the power plant in downtown Edmonton. Edmonton Power, when it was being privatized, was going to sell the power plant as being mothballed and of no value. What happened was once they put it on the market, the public market, it became apparent that this was a jewel in downtown Edmonton, and it had value. So all of a sudden now the plans to mothball the power plant were shelved, and the people who thought for whatever reason that that land belonged to them, and it was also based upon evidence that they obviously found around the old fort of Edmonton, Fort Edmonton, that it was one time native property, native land. So it was.
Wasn't there a cemetery there too that was discovered in Edmonton that was?
Let me correct you on that, and this is another bone of discrimination. When Alberta became a province in 1903, I think, or somewhere back there. Anyways, so they passed the Cemeteries Act, which made it against the law to disturb a cemetery. Right. But what they decided was that any group of people buried, anything that predated the province of Alberta was considered a burial ground. And a burial ground had no protection because it wasn't under the Cemeteries Act. So otherwise they would have had to designate this area as a cemetery. What they did do is they put up a bunch of crosses for a while, and now they put up a little monument, and they sort of rerouted the road a little bit and tried to make peace with the situation.
Subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and please share the video. Don't be afraid to share this commercial with your friends too.